Good afternoon, Copers. Why the fuck isn't the camera working again? This is becoming a recurring issue with OBS on the backup computer. Hold on. Sony Cam Asgard. Why isn't it? I hit OK. It's like I have to fucking remove the camera and add it every time or something. Hold, let me try that. I gotta remember to check this before I go live because it's becoming a problem. Does that work? Does this work? Hold on. I'm sorry I'm late. Fucking no, it's not working, bro. Let me try this. Create new camera 3. Sorry I'm late. Right as it was like about time to go live, the fucking body that I inhabit suddenly had to take a shit. And so so I was taking a big greasy shit for like 3 minutes over time. And I mean greasy. Like, you know, the kind, you know, when you need the baby wipes, when the regular toilet paper just won't cut it and you got to bust open the baby wipes. It's like that kind of shit. Hold on a sec. So this is still no good. Whatever. Okay. There's no camera. I don't know what the problem is. Whatever. Let's get to the show. It's the daily Cope call-in show, taking your calls. Ked's dead. You're live on the Daily Cope. What's your take?
Yo, can you hear me?
Hold on. I can hear you, but it's not registering on the desktop. For fuck's sake, man. I set this all up with Grok, and then we like when I tested it, it was working. But what OBS does is it it resets your settings. So,
Okay. Yeah, I
uh,
can hear you.
say something.
Yep. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
Can you
we're
hear
good. I
me?
think we're good. I think I got it on the first try. All right, what's up, Ked's
Or,
dead?
well, nothing much. What was I going to say? Did you get a chance to check out the Nick Fuentes playlist with all the indie stuff?
No, I did not. It slipped my mind.
Really been leaning into the indie music lately. It's pretty dope. But they're all a bunch of leptoids, but it is
Yeah.
really white. And I mean, even back when I was in college, I was kind of into like the hipster scene with indie music and stuff. But I was more of like a Brooklyn like artsy fartsy type of indie enjoyer as opposed to like the Portland clap stomp hey like
Yeah.
folksy indie. But yeah, I was gonna say what so yesterday I chatted something about something I heard Richard Spencer say about eugenics and modernity and like how through modernity there's a bunch of guys who are reproducing um, and also just surviving because of modern medicine and the comforts of modernity that maybe in the past wouldn't have. And so now technology and women's hypergamy is kind of leading to a situation where, like, to be attractive to a female, you kind of got to be like a winner or whatever, be like top percent or whatever, making so much money or what have you. And it may be correcting genetics to where, like, going forward, all there will be is like a lot more winners in the gene pool. And I just wanted to know what your thoughts on that kind of a theory were.
Did you mention this last week, or was it like I feel like somebody else called in last week and said this exact same thing? And
Or did they already? I didn't
yeah,
hear it if they did.
and I said I haven't given it a lot of thought, and I still haven't given it a lot of thought, but
Yeah.
it it kind of makes sense, you know. But
I
again,
like it because
so
uh,
I said this when I was covering the Montreal guy. I don't think it's as bad as people think it is. Like the people who really can't find a girlfriend, they're not just like average. Okay, those people are bottom quintile, and they have really bad attitudes, generally speaking.
yeah,
So I don't think it's and those people are making a lot of noise about how bad everything is. And if you go on the dating apps, you'll also probably think everything's bad. The dating apps are going out of business, by the way. Like I saw like Bumble stock is completely tanked, and they're like,
Yeah, young people are hip to it.
yeah, so if you think the dating market is total shit, you probably are literally only on dating apps, and you probably have some work to do on yourself.
Yeah. I just like that theory because it validates my self worth since I have reproduced. So it makes me think like I'm a super Chad,
Yeah.
awesome person.
Yeah,
You too,
it's
right?
one
You
of
got
those
three
cool
kids.
sounding ideas, but I don't know. It's kind of like
Um,
not falsifiable either, and I don't typically concern myself that much with those kinds of ideas. It's like an evolution, like those evolutionary psychology. Well, this is the reason, blah blah blah. It's like, okay, well, there's no way for me to prove that that's wrong, so I'm just not even gonna think about it. Basically,
and well, there was only one other thing I wanted to say real quick too. So I was reading Confessions by Saint Augustine a second ago before the call in,
mm-hmm.
and there was something he said about his learning of Greek and Homer and stuff like that, and it was like a total pagan L because he was talking. He wasn't like shitting on pagans; it had to do with something else, but it got me thinking. He was saying Homer and like his stories about the gods and stuff like were probably lies, and he was saying that it was probably lies because no one believed the gods existed. They weren't real people, but the reason they had all these stories of gods doing adultery and all these other bad things and shit like that was because there was probably people in power at the time that like were also doing bad stuff. So that instead of being like, oh, I'm doing bad stuff, it's like, oh, well, Zeus does that shit too. So like pagans, like maybe a lot of their shit is just they want an excuse to be total degens. So they're like, oh, I'm not degenerate. Actually, I'm just being like our gods and like beliefs. So I just thought that was an interesting thing he had said.
Yeah, I mean, there's always degens though, isn't there? Even in like Christian societies or whatever. Like
But
maybe it's not.
we can't say if we're degenerate though that like, oh well, Christ was doing it, so like whatever. You know what I mean? Like we
Right,
don't have that to
right,
fall on.
right. Yeah, it does sort of
Yeah.
excuse it if you have your gods doing it. That's true.
Yeah, so you can just go be like Loki and go be a tranny or whatever, and then be like, "Hey, Loki was tranny, so I can do it too,"
Word.
or like whatever kind of crazy. I mean, because you know how crazy those stories are about like the Greek gods. They're always doing some wild shit.
Yeah.
So maybe instead of
Yeah,
Christianity
there's
being
one
the
called like the rape of I forget the kid's name, but it's like Zeus abducted like a 13-year-old boy because he was in love with him. So
that's what I was say. So maybe they're always LARPing saying Christianity is a psyop to be
there,
controlled by the Jews, but maybe
there's
paganism
a
was a
funny
psyop so
funny
they could be
joke.
tranny
I was
fuckers.
listening to a space with pagans and Christians, and I heard a funny joke. Do you know why they call it Asgard? Because you got to guard your ass
Well,
when you're around pagans. Because an ass guard is what you got to wear when you're around pagans.
pagan, eat shit, pagans.
All right, Ked's dead. Thanks, man.
All right, later.
All right, hang in there, champ. Space Godzilla, you're live on the Daily Cope. What's your take?
What's up, LP? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I wanted to talk a little bit about Sam Hyde.
Okay.
So I know you're a big fan of Sam Hyde. I used to listen to him a bit, not a lot, but I actually stopped listening to him for a reason, and it's something I picked up on, and I want to hear your opinion on this if you ever picked up on it. So from listening to him, it's eventually I picked up on it. It seemed to me that Sam Hyde has a hatred of American military veterans. What do you think?
Uh could be true. I think he's like, yeah, I don't think he likes the army for the kind of the typical I'm not fucking dying for Israel kind of reasons, but I don't know. That's not you'd have to show me a clip or something.
I guess so. It really got to. I guess I really started to pick up on it in his. I did like the intro of his Arenas Roots video, but at one point later in the video, he calls the guys who killed Osama bin Laden faggots.
Okay.
Anyways, though, I'll tell you what. The only American veterans I hate are the American World War II veterans who fought against Germany in World War II. Those guys are race traitors. But the rest of the American veterans I'm cool with.
Okay. I don't really. I just don't care that much. I guess like the army is a job. You know what I mean? And so it's like I'm not really gonna begrudge people who go down that path because it's just like a career path that they're going down. I think most of the wars though, like I don't support the war in Iraq. I don't support basically, you know, obviously like Vietnam and shit like that, but it's like I don't hate the grunts because to me they're just like making a living basically. Or well, and, I mean in Vietnam a lot of them were drafted and shit like that too, which is obviously not their fault either, but I guess that's how I feel about it. I wish the army was more respectable, and because I think it should be like a good path for young men, and but in order for it to be more respectable, it has to be used correctly.
Okay, but why not the Vietnam War, LP? You said you used to like Vietnam War movies.
Oh, I do like the movies, and I like learning about the war and stuff like that. But it was like a kind of a stupid war.
I mean, I guess so, but here's why I support it. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the thing: communism would not have expanded past Mongolia if America hadn't bailed out the Soviet Union in World War II. So when the South Vietnamese, the Laotians, and the Montagnards were asking for help in the Vietnam War, they were basically just asking us to put down the mad dog of communist expansion that we unleashed. You know what I mean? Because there would be no Korean War or Vietnam War if America just let Germany do its job. The communists would have never arrived in Korea, Vietnam, or Laos if America just sat back and let Germany do its job. They never would have spread past Mongolia. Like, for all intents and purposes, the South Vietnamese, Laotians, and Montagnards were just asking us to put down the mad dog that we unleashed in World War II. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that, and you're not wrong, but I just don't care about Vietnam. If Vietnam can be communist, it can be pagan, it can be Christian, it's all the same to me. Like I just don't really care. Maybe that's a little bit too naive about how important all the the fabric between nations is, but that's like if I'm being honest, I don't give a shit about Vietnam, and I don't know why I should.
I guess so. I just think we have a responsibility to put down our mad dogs. But I'll tell you what, part of that is
well, it's not our mad
and that's
dog
the
though,
thing
is
that's
it? It's Russian Jews.
yeah, but the Russian Jews that only expanded past Mongolia, well, that only were able to push communism past Mongolia because America, fought against Germany in World War II. We should have just left Germany alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, I was going to make one more point. So the thing that really frustrates me is, you know how I said the only American veterans I really hate are the American veterans that fought against Germany in World War II?
Mm-hmm.
Many of those guys would later go on to fight against the communists in Korea and Vietnam, and they were proud of that. And they were proud that they fought against the communists. And I'm like, but they're still proud of their service for the Soviet Union against Germany. And I'm like, really, guys? Don't you realize that communism would have never expanded to Laos, Korea, or Vietnam if you hadn't gone in and helped the Soviet Union? Don't you realize that communism never would have, because Mongolia was already communist in World War II, but don't these guys ever realize that communism would have never expanded past Mongolia if they hadn't gone in and built out the Soviet Union? Like, how can they be proud of fighting for communism and then fighting against communist expansion, which they fought for? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, they weren't sold World War II as fighting in favor of communism. The propaganda was that the Nazis hated Christianity. They wanted to obliterate Christianity and take over the world, and we'd all be speaking German and goose stepping, and that was good enough for them to go fight.
I guess so, but I think you have to be a giant bumbling idiot to not see World War II as America going in and helping communism. I don't get why George Patton and George Lincoln Rockwell were the only World War II vets that fought against Germany that put it together. Like, really, it's the most obvious shit imaginable, and only two guys, both with the first name George, put it together. It doesn't make sense, man.
Yeah, I don't know, because it was such a different time in terms of like the amount of information that was available. Like they didn't have the internet and like what we have, so it's hard to kind of know how you would have wound up if you were in that situation. I mean, I grew up a retarded progressive liberal just from the, high school brainwashing. And it wasn't until I got on the internet in my 30s that I figured out everything I knew was a lie. So without the internet, would you ever even figure it out? I don't know.
I guess. Oh yeah, last thing. So, are you into fighting games at all?
I used to be more. I did buy Mortal Kombat 1 when it was on sale and just like play through the story basically and that, but I'm not really like competitive when it comes to that stuff.
All right, because I'm saying, what I was going to say is, did you see that the trailer for Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee Remastered came out?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, okay. I'm probably going to pay you to stream it when it comes out, if you'd be cool with that.
I would be. I would be cool with that.
All right, I'll do that for sure.
All right, sounds good, Space Godzilla. Thanks for calling, man.
All right. Yeah, no problem. Hey, have a great day.
You too. Cheers. King Whitish, you're live on the Daily Cope.
What's up, LP? How are you doing today?
Look, if you're going to be on camera, then I assume you want to be shown. Is that true?
That's fine. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay.
That's all right.
What's up, man?
Yeah.
What's on your mind?
Just wanted to see if you thought the Chud stuff was real. I was listening to that yesterday, and yeah, what do you lean?
I said this, but I think I lean towards quite likely, quite plausibly, yes, but I would prefer it not to be. And also, I said this, but if Chud comes out and he says it's not real, I'll believe him over the Troon. Like, I'll take his word for it. But yeah, I'm not like, oh, that's definitely fake. I don't know. It might not be.
Okay. And I want to ask too, I had this thought, do you like the call-in shows just from your perspective? What do you think about
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, I love it. I love to hear what everyone has to say. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite show.
How long have you been doing them?
So basically for years and years, because when I first started the Daily Cope, which I don't even know, like 4 or 5 years ago, probably 5 years now. It was just once a week on Saturdays, and it was always a call-in show, but it would be like a bit longer, 2-3 hours, and I'd cover topics and I'd do segments and I would take calls as they came in. And then, after taking enough calls, you kind of like realize it's not the best content, but, I decided to keep it going. And then I thought it would be, as an optional thing if we hit the goal, which is kind of like a good system, I think. So I like the way the system is, but when I get a week where we don't hit the goal, it's like a vacation for me. It's like, oh, I don't have to do that.
What's your favorite kind of call, would you say? The calls that you enjoy?
I like when people call in and they say, I disagree with you about something and here it is, blah, 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 it's quite rare. That's kind of why it's not like a lot of good content, because it's mostly like people just call in and they kind of ramble and they don't really have like a issue or even necessarily a point they want to make. Not you usually do. And look, no offense, I appreciate all callers. I'm just saying in general, it's not just, it's all shows. Like I used to watch the Kill stream, and I still do once in a while, but that they did a lot of call-in shows back when that was like a popular show, or they took a lot of calls, and it was kind of the same thing. But Ralph was really good at like kicking people off. Like he would just instantly kick people off if they sucked. And I'm too nice a lot of the time to do that.
Okay. Well, I think the only thing I had for today, I found references from the Council of Trent and the Council of Nicaea, Nicaea II. So the Council of Trent is a Roman Catholic council, and I think both Catholics and Orthodox believe that they're.
I think you're dropping.
Am I still here?
You're
Am I
back.
here?
You're back.
Here, let me turn. Yeah, so like both Catholics and Orthodox believe that the ecumenical councils, or what they determine to be ecumenical, are infallible, right? There's nothing incorrect in any of the councils that they affirm. It's like they're breathed out by the Holy Spirit. You know, they have like the same authority as Scripture. And I think any Orthodox or Catholic person would say that. And I was just seeing today in Nicaea II, which Orthodox people affirm, it says if anyone does not salute or venerate icons, it says let him be anathema, which means let him be cursed and damned by God, basically. If anyone does not salute or venerate icons, then he's anathema.
That's in there.
Right,
where did you see that exactly?
That's in Nicaea II. I took a screenshot of it. It's in their anathema list in Nicaea II. They have like a whole list of them. I saw one time in the liturgy where some Eastern Orthodox churches, like during their Sunday service, they will call out Martin Luther, John Calvin, Zwingli, all the reformers by name as part of their liturgy and say, let them all be anathema, which is like the strongest term you can say for damned to hell, like going straight to hell, you know. And the Catholics do the same thing. And my personal opinion is, like, once somebody has kind of a clear notion of the biblical gospel, it kind of has to be that way. You know what I mean? Like, once you know for sure how you were saved, like how Jesus saves people, you can't also just be like, well, these other ways can also save you too. You know, it's pretty exclusive. I don't think that means we should be enemies of like Catholic or Orthodox. But I don't know, when you die and stand before God, I don't think he's just going to be like, well, you fought so hard for the white race, I'm just letting you in. I don't care what you do, you know, or something like that, you know?
Yeah. No.
Anyway, what's your thoughts on that? And I'll come out. I'm done. I just want to hear your response.
I agree with you on the theology. I think we are very similar thinking when it comes to that. I wish we could have got the Jay Dyer Corey Mahler debate. But Jay Dyer just doesn't want to do it, unfortunately. But that would have been like a fun debate to do. Look, man, I just hope everyone makes it. I hope God is merciful. I hope it, but I don't know. I don't know. That's my thoughts. Also, I was thinking about something I didn't mention about the call-ins, but like there's a lot of like audio issues you get where it's not working for people, or they have bad mics or bad sound or bad internet connections. And that's also part of the drag of doing call-in shows. Okay, thank you, King Jewish. Have a good one. Manny, you're live on the Daily Cope. What's your take?
Hey, man. Long time no hear from you.
What up, Manny? You want to be on camera?
Nah, that's fine, man. I'm in San Francisco. I'm in San Francisco right now. I actually kind of disagree with you.
Are you there for Pride?
I've seen too much. No, actually, I have other business over here, but it's actually a pretty city though. And I mean, I was kind of blackpilled by YCS.
Yeah.
But all your videos and even your tweet that you posted early in the morning about that weird guy who wants to take the Pelosi drive, whatever. Anyways, it's actually pretty there. It's a nice city. It's a nice walkable city. I was around Union Square.
All right. Okay. All right. It's old. The joke's played out. Fine. Yeah. So San Francisco.
But yeah,
nice.
I didn't see any weird stuff in San Francisco, man. That's what I'm trying to say. And even that I went to Stanford just to walk around Stanford University. Again, everything looks normal there. I don't know. Maybe it's there in pockets, or maybe I just was lucky enough to that didn't catch it though.
Well, I mean, there's a video going around Twitter today of Scott Wiener and it's like a big like transgender pride event in the park, and they're all like freaking out and like screaming at him, telling him he's going to hell for supporting Israel. It's pretty funny actually, and I'll be covering it.
It's pretty
on
funny.
Monday
He deserves
for
it.
sure.
He definitely deserves it. He definitely deserves it because I'm not a big fan of that guy. He needs to be roasted to hell. Anyway.
Yeah. So I'm personally,
yeah,
I've never been to San Francisco, so I don't have any opinion. But I mean, I'm glad that it's nice. That's good. That's cool.
It is nice, at least where I was at. And then the other thing that I want to say, man,
sent
is like,
$5 on Power Chat.
Thank you, Cat Respecter. Yeah, go ahead, Manny.
and then there's a lot of freaking AI ads everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Even
It's
at
a
your
big tech
bicycles,
city,
your
right?
bus. It is, but it's all AI. AI these agents, efficiency and stuff. It's kind of like, I don't know, bro. Like, you remember back in the day when movies came out and they were plastered everywhere? It's kind of like the same thing, but for AI.
Yeah.
Like a lot of AI companies just plaster buses and plaster like walls and stuff with AI advertising.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane.
Yeah, a lot of the
nice.
offers I get for paid tweets these days are for this or that AI thing. These people just have money to burn, it seems like. And it's kind of weird because it's like how none of them are like making money. You know, it's like the whole economy is just kind of fake and gay. Kind of seems like
It is. It's just venture capital money, basically. But yeah, that's what I want to say, man. Just want to say hi and yeah, I haven't talked to you guys in a while.
Yeah.
Definitely keep looking at YCSP and your content, man. And I hope you're having a great day.
All right, Manny. Thank you. Have a good one. Dude, Mon, you are live on the Daily Cope. What's your take?
What's up? I was calling in to talk about Chud.
Okay.
Originally, yeah, I mean, yesterday I was listening in the background. I was thinking, it's no big deal. Chud's gonna say he didn't do it, and the Troon's gonna say he did do it. It's gonna just go away. The picture is a little damaging to his brand. So we pretty much have to change tactics and just say, like, can a nigga get one free pass?
I don't know, man. I mean,
can you fuck one dude without being crucified for it?
Well, yes. I mean, I don't want to crucify him. It's just like one of those things. It's kind of similar to woman propaganda, tweeting out him sleeping with the black woman. You know, that's sort of white troon, black woman, sort of on the same level of infraction of a violation of deviancy. It's just, you know, look, people have messy lives, and I'm just going to be like, well, you shouldn't do that. But if you're doing good work separately from that, then it's kind of like separating the art from the artist. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to approve of Chud's. Even just being promiscuous is something I frown on. And so but it's the same thing. I'm not going to be like, oh, I can't support you because you have sex with loose women. It's just like I'm just like, well, you shouldn't do that, but it's kind of not really any of my business, basically.
Yeah, and he's engaged to a woman now, isn't he? And
that is what people are saying, and she appears to be hot and blonde, so no harm, no foul, I guess. I don't know. You know, the allegations from Empath Chan was that he was like messaging her while he's engaged, though. So that, I mean, there could be potentially, if he's like a horn dog, then he might have problems with his engagement and his marriage if it comes to fruition, because, you know, if he can't control his lust, that's just going to cause him problems. But also, we just have to get him out of jail before any of that even matters. You know, will he get out of jail is like such a big question mark right now that none of this other stuff really matters that much.
Yeah, it's gonna pretty much just go away, I think, and be forgotten about.
I don't care that much, even if it's real. It's like I'll just be like, yo, you shouldn't, that's fucked up. Get it under control. But like everybody in this movement, it has like issues. You know what I mean? If I purity spiraled so hard on the social conservatism stuff, I would have nobody to talk to on Progress Report because they're all a bunch of fucking degens, man. Can we take a minute to acknowledge how I am like one of the most fucking non-degen influencers out there? I know it's not something you should brag about, but it's like, I swear to God, I'm like the only one who's not trying to fuck Empath Chan or just generally coon-brained or whatever.
Yeah, and what I like about you is that you're not a purity spiraler, and you spurg out on the purity spiralers. And I'm not saying like, okay, if you want to say fucking dudes is too far, then fine. But there are so many purity spiralers who will just like completely disown anyone who's done anything. Period.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the biggest problem. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, you got people waiting.
We got one person waiting.
All right. There's nobody else. I'll call back in.
Well, Farding
all right, dude, man, appreciate it.
Wise man say, you can build 100 bridges, 1,000 schools, 1,000 hospitals, but if you secure one throne, you'll always be known as a flaming. What?
So true. So true. Can we just let a nigga live? Can we give one pass? Okay, new rule, one pass rule. I didn't want to just sit there and complain about purity spiralers because I feel like I've talked about that so much that it's boring, but I do agree with what he was saying. Coastal reaction, you're live on the Daily Cope. What's your take?
Hello. I just want to talk about Citizen Vigilante.
Nice.
Since I haven't heard anyone talk about that yet. I like the movie. I mean, it was a little rough, I'll be honest. There's that one part where you see all the police going down to crack down on him. And I feel like that scene was maybe like 5 minutes too long. I remember falling asleep and then waking back home like, oh shit, they're still driving to his house? Damn.
Yeah.
But my actual take is that because a lot of these artsy-fartsy types are like criticizing the movie, and I think what they should be doing is trying to influence his next project. Because like all these people on the right, they like to think that they have all these big ideas. And then you finally have this millionaire who's making a chud movie, and they're just going to criticize it instead of like, oh, maybe try to send in their resume or something.
Yeah, there's just like, there's so much demoralization happening all the time. And it's like, okay, look, I get it. It's not the best movie. Like, I understand. We all get that. No one is arguing that it's the best movie ever made from a technical perspective. Okay. We all get that, but it's like, why, like, is it really the best time to be like just a snob about that? When I saw a good tweet, a guy said the purpose of the movie is what it does, which is sort of a play on that expression. The purpose of a system is what it does. And I thought that was like a really good way of like, that's like really aligned with my perspective. Is like, I don't really care how good the movie is. I care about the discourse that is happening because of the movie about immigration, etc., and all the people distracted by like the technical cinephile aspects are just sort of a distraction from the actual important conversations that people are having. I would like to see what, in terms of what you said about influencing him, I saw he posted about making a sequel. Tristan Tate was like, replied and said, I'll do a cameo for free. And it would be cool if it turned into kind of like a a bit of like an internet meme thing. Like I'm not like, oh, sweet Tristan Tate, that's gonna be so cool. But somebody else like suggested like you should get Nick Fuentes and Dasha to do cameos in the movie. You know, Dasha from Red Scare, and I was like, it could be really cool. And also if Uwe Boll, however the fuck you say it, if he was open to working, like if like some of the creative people on the dissident right who are good writers, whoever that might be, like somebody like Mencius Moldbug Man, wherever but if Uwe Boll like did some consulting with some like terminally online far right people to work on the script for the sequel, like it could be really cool. You know, it could have a lot of actually more refined ideas and memes in there. So you're right. We should be trying to nudge him in that kind of direction where we have more influence on his next project if possible.
Yes, because like a lot of people, I remember when Daily Wire started making movies, people were excited, but like all the stuff that they come out with is just, subpar garbage.
Yeah.
Or
yeah,
like just
the Matt
subversive.
Walsh movies are like decent, but they're just sort of, normie con slop, but they're well done.
I think Matt Walsh has a place, and I think he fills that space pretty well. Oh, I'm about to get yelled at by my kids. Well, that's all the time I got. Sorry.
All right, man. Appreciate the call. Coastal Reaction. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Cheers. All right. Anybody else want to call in? Because there's nobody else. Oh, never mind. We got someone. Kalu, you're live on the Daily Cope. What's your take?
Hello, LP.
Hello.
Yeah, I just want to talk about the movie real quick.
Sweet.
I just want to quickly say that the movie, I sat down yesterday, I saw it. It was to the point. It was quick, which for some may be bad, for some may be good, but it said what it needed to be said. Like, I honestly don't understand why people complain so much about it. About the woke judges, about the crimes that happen everywhere in Europe, about how the politicians will criticize Russia and China and not literally talk about the actual issue. I still remember like a Canadian citizen talking to Trudeau and talking about how expensive the houses are. And Trudeau literally answered him by saying that you are reading too much Russian propaganda. I just want to say that the movie just on point, and it's great. Like, yeah, it's not perfect, but that's all.
Yeah, it's like there's that old saying, everyone's a critic, and that's just how it is. Everyone's a critic. Everyone wants to be like, oh, this part's bad, this part could have been better, this and that. No one wants to just be like, thank you for the movie.
I am a critic too. I can point out like the problems, but the positives about it are just outweigh them tenfold.
I agree.
That is all I want to say, because I find it very, very stupid how everyone complain about something that clearly shows that we have progress. There is actual progress being done. Things are actually being done.
Oh, dude!
People are just complaining.
It is crazy, right? So, Toby. Tobuscus, what the fuck's his name? Toby. God, I can't remember his name, but he makes that song that "Get the Fuck Out, Invader Scum," right? He 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He releases
I haven't
that song.
seen it yet.
Oh, you haven't seen that? Oh, so he makes this song, "Get the Fuck Out, Invader Scum," and then Uwe Boll puts out this movie. And today, Toby, what is his name? Toby, I'm blanking so hard, but he took the scene at the end of the movie where the guy's shooting the Muslims, and he put his song over Toby Turner. Thank you. He put his song over the clip, So the guy's shooting. It's like, get the fuck out, invaders, scum. And I was like thinking, like, this is insane. Like, do people not understand we are living in a different reality in terms of Overton window right now? Like the idea that this could have happened, that those two things could have come together like that 5 years ago is like totally unthinkable.
Yeah.
And the fact that the movie has so many 5-star reviews on Rotten Tomatoes is like a massive white pill. People are fed up, and everyone knows it.
Yeah, and one last thing, the movie was, let's be honest, like at least a 7 out of 10. Like the actors, it wasn't the best acting, but the protagonist did a very good job. The other side characters did a very decent job.
I mean, I would probably say
scenery,
6 out of 10. I don't know about minimum 7. That might be a little too generous. But if I was just going to objectively critique the filmmaking, I would probably be like 5 or 6 out of 10.
For the job that it's doing, I put it at 7.
Sure.
Because it is on point. It doesn't try to.
Yeah, it's it's an exploitation B. It's a gratuitous action flick with gratuitous violence. It is what it is. Gratuitous sex and violence.
No. I'm talking about mostly the message. Like, it doesn't try to hide the message.
Right.
It doesn't try to make it sound it's different.
It's literally this movie is dedicated to the victims of of rape and murder.
And that fact alone is like gets me from a 6 to a 7 alone.
Sure. No, if I'm rating it on just like my feelings about the movie, 10 out of 10. You know, like one of the greatest movie of the decade. Okay, so it depends kind of what mindset we're rating it from. Well, you know, I said this, but like there is like good things about the movie that the critics are not acknowledging. Like there's just some genuinely like good lines of dialogue, like when he's like, do you want justice and shit like that. It's like, yo, that goes hard. Like that's actually like good script, like a good writing for part of the movie.
The fact that the protagonist is also an American, I mean, that gives into logic a little, because an American coming to Europe, because America is the world superpower, he is above like the law in a way.
He's like the world police.
Yeah. There is a messaging there too. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't, but I personally see it as such. Anyways, that is all I want to say.
Okay, Kalu, appreciate it. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, have a good one.
Cheers. Anybody else? I never mentioned this, but there's like in the movie they have a bald Canadian guy being like on social media being like, I love this, and everybody was, and when I saw that I was like, is that supposed to be Stefan Molyneux? And I saw other people saying that on Twitter, so there was, you know, somebody in one of the interviews should have asked him. They should have asked him, like, was that Stefan Molyneux? Although he might not necessarily be able to say yes, because there could be issues about using someone's likeness. I don't know. What movie? We were talking about Citizen Vigilante. Anybody else want to call in here? We got 13 more minutes, and I was going to go a couple minutes over because I was a little bit late, but I'm also willing to end it early if nobody wants to call in. George Floyd banana reference, I didn't catch. So, okay, I have to admit something, and maybe this is part of why I enjoyed the movie more than other people. I did not sit down and watch the movie. I just had it on my monitor the way I watch most movies these days. And I was working on other stuff, you know, working on posting tweets or whatever, and just sort of listening to the movie. So I wasn't like super focused on it. And, cause like, honestly, when he was in the brothel, I was kind of like, why is he in a brothel? Did I miss something? Should I back it up? Apparently there was no real reason. So I guess I didn't really miss anything there, but like other people were like, well, how did you feel about the scene where he just swerves and kills a random person on the street? And I was like, what? Did that happen in the movie? Apparently that happens. Apparently he just murders a rando to make some kind of point to the judge about how you can just do things. And I didn't even catch that because I was only half-assed watching the movie. But no regrets. No regrets. Dude Mon, you're live on the Daily Cope. What's your take?
What's up? I haven't seen the movie, but I trust your judgment. But basically, what I've been hearing for years from conservators and intellectual Richard Spencer types is that, like, our propaganda has to be subtle, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's total horseshit. It's not about subtle. And kind of what the last caller was talking about. I didn't plan this talking point, but the Daily Wire movies, people criticize them because they're like over the top, retarded, just conservatard stuff. They're not subtle, quote unquote. It's not that they're not subtle; it's that they're just stupid and not enjoyable. Right?
I mean, so Allison and I, we went to see Am I Racist? And I would say that I did enjoy the movie despite being like essentially an anti-racist movie. I still like it. There was funny parts, you know, and he's pretending to be a liberal and he's talking to these goofy liberals but it's not like revolutionary. But what was that? Did something just break?
I dropped something. I dropped something there. I wasn't really talking about, like, Matt Walsh is better. And I have my problems with Walsh, but I don't counter signal him.
Yeah.
But I'm talking more like the movie Ballers or whatever it was.
Okay. I haven't watched any of the other stuff. I was sort of planning to watch the Pendragon stuff, but it made such a little impact on, like, nobody was talking about that when it came out, and I just decided I didn't care anymore and never watched it. So I've like only seen the Matt Walsh stuff, so I don't have really opinion on anything else.
And the mainstream has been coming out with extremely non-subtle shit for years. I mean, that show Hunters, where it's like, oh, your MAGA grandpa is actually a Nazi who we need to shoot in the head.
Oh, was that the one with like Al Pacino or something or whatever? Where it's I never watched that, but yeah, it was like old Jews hunting Nazis who were like in hiding or whatever. It's been like we've been beaten over the head with left-wing propaganda. Citizen Vigilante shows what is possible. So imagine a U-Bowl, but a more competent director and a higher budget, but a guy who was like just really wanting to like propagandize in a sort of essentially far right kind of way. It would be so good.
Yeah, there could be something really good. And the counter signalers who are like trying to be like high and mighty and intellectual about it are just, I mean, it's pointless.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's too much emphasis on subtlety. And people, you know what people love to say? They love to say like, your movie doesn't have to be political. It just has to tell a good story or whatever. And it's like, yeah, that's not how the left brainwashed that entire fucking race of people. It wasn't by just telling good stories. Okay. I want a movie about Simon of Trent. You know what I mean? That's like, has the same production value of like Passion of the Christ. I want a movie about like a movie that is like about Hitler that is completely sympathetic to him and actually like shows the problems that shows like Weimar in all its degeneracy and like the financial issues that the Jews are creating and all that. You know what I mean? Like I want full blown far right propaganda, quality produced, competent people, big budgets. Give me that.
Yeah, we want Jude Seuss 2. Do you have anybody in the background? It's like
nah, man, no one's here. No one's here, man. But I'm gonna. What is it? Is it actually 1:58? It is. Guess I could just wrap this up.
All right. Yeah. That's about it anyway. So
okay,
I'll let you go.
Thank you. Thanks for calling,
right,
man. I
see you
appreciate
later.
it. Cheers. Yeah, we'll just call it a day. You know, it's like all those like AI Pixar generated posters that people were doing, like The Toll or whatever. Like, the funny thing is eventually when AI is good enough, we will have that. And people will be able to make like good movies that are actually better than Citizen Vigilante. But there will be a problem of having it garner enough attention, though. But anyway, it'll be interesting to see how the AI aspect all plays out. Okay, you guys have a good Saturday. YCSP tomorrow. I will catch you on the flip side. Peace out.